man. Welcome back to the show. You're still tuned in to Unfiltered. So today's guest is a music producer, artist, songwriter, and DJ who has produced several radio and viral hits, including Nicki Minaj's and Lil Baby's Do We Have a Problem, and recently Diddy, City Girls, and Fabulous Act Bad. Please welcome to our show the incredibly talented Papi Yerr.
Welcome.
My brother.
Good to have you. Looking dapper.
Dapper, yeah.
Thank you, thank
Good.
you. You guys are looking great too. You guys are looking
Thank you.
magnificent.
Hey,
We try. We got to use some
keep up
memo.
coordinated, yeah.
Hey, y'all should have let me know the memo. I would have came in my little baby blue too.
Hey, we
you feel me?
got
Next time.
Next time.
Next
Looking
time.
like a cloud in here.
Hey,
you know
let's
what I'm saying?
go.
Next time for sure.
Hey, well, first off, congrats on all of your
Yeah.
success, man. That's
Thank you.
huge hits to have. And I want to dive a little bit into your background. So you come from Liberian and Haitian background.
Yeah. So my father's from Liberia. Shout out to Liberia. And my mom is from Haiti.
Okay.
Born and raised, both of them born and raised in their countries. So shout out to Haiti, shout out Liberia.
So I want to talk
That's
about growing up. Was music a part of your upbringing? And how did you fall in love with production and all that good stuff?
Well, yeah, music for me is like I had just a natural affinity for music.
Okay.
It's not like anyone in my family did music. Both of my parents are teachers.
Oh.
You know, they academia. My whole family is kind of like, you know, I'm the only rock star in the family. So it's kind of like, you sure you want to do this? And I'm like, yeah.
Yeah.
So, you know, my mother just discovered I had a talent for music because everywhere I would turn anything into a sound, whether it's pots and pans, my
That's
pencils.
good.
You know, in class, you know, when I was in first grade, you know, I would just, instead of learning, I'd just take my pencils and just make my own beats. You know, and, you know, from there, she just discovered, like, hey, you know, he has a talent for this. You know, let's put him in classes and stuff like that. But once I did those classes, my teachers would be like, hey, he's too advanced. Let him learn on his own.
Wow.
And, you know, it was crazy. I actually learned how to, like, play instruments before I learned how to read and write.
Really?
Wow.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
That's a gift.
That makes sense. I can see you with the toys. Pop, pop, pop.
Yeah, I was beating them toys.
The pencil drumsticks.
Yeah, I was beating them toys. It would be like a show every time. Like, my house would be like, all the family would come and I just, from morning to night, just beat it. You know, beating the drums, all kind of stuff.
You got that wooden spoon from the kitchen and it was over.
I just had my whole setup. They knew what time it was. Once I start pulling things out the cabinet, he about to go crazy.
Oh, man, that's good. So we want to fast forward. So you were named, congratulations, Billboard #1 producer in the world of hip hop and R&B in 2022. How on earth did you accomplish this?
Well, first of all, by the grace of God, you know what I'm saying? Shout out my Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ. You know what I mean?
Yeah, come on. Hey.
Sanctified, filled with the Holy Ghost.
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead.
I like that. By the grace of God, you know, and shout out to Nicki Minaj.
Yeah.
For real.
Yeah.
You know, Nicki Minaj and Lil Baby, we did the Do We Have a Problem record, which was like my biggest record to date. And it just went up. #1 on Apple Music. It went gold in like 3 weeks.
Wow.
How's
Platinum
that
in a few
feel?
months.
Yeah, how does that feel?
It was amazing. I mean, like, it was a lot to take in, you know.
Right.
I looked up and I had a message from Nicki Minaj and I'm just like, and I seen she followed me and then I go on my Twitter's exploding, my Instagram exploding. Everything was just like crazy, you know. And it just really started with my boy Tate Cobain. He's an artist, producer, writer as well. He signed to Nicki as an artist.
Okay.
And I sent some beats over to him and he sent it to Nicki. And she was like, yeah, I want to make this my single. They throwing Lil Baby on it. And, you know, it's just two superstars come together.
Yeah.
And, you know, and then I also did another record with Nicki called We Go Up.
Right.
Featuring 5 Year Foreign. And, you know, next thing I look up, you know, Billboard named me #1 in the world.
That's awesome.
So,
Congratulations.
Congratulations
So the pots and the pans and the wooden spoons,
oh, yeah,
it paid off.
It paid off.
It
you
paid
know what
off.
I mean?
So don't stop the kids.
Yeah. If kids out there, all the parents, if your kid is beating on some pots and pans,
that's what's up.
let them beat.
Let them beat on them pots.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. So speaking of hit songs, I want to talk about your latest hit song, Act Bad Diddy featuring City Girls. How did that record come about and what was that creative process like?
To be honest, it started with Nicki. You know, I actually never told this story, but it started with Nicki because after I became the #1 producer in the world, one of my boys, his name is Charlotte, he had posted me on his story just showing love.
Okay.
And one of Diddy's executives from his label Love Records
Okay.
saw it and hit my boy and was like, "Hey, connect me with him." And then they put me in a group chat with him. But at the time, he ain't have no pictures with Diddy or so
Right.
we in a group chat and I'm like, they saying this is Diddy people.
Yeah.
And I ain't sent beats for like 10 days. You know what I
Thought it
mean?
was just
Right.
Because I'm just like, and then
thought it
at the
was a scam.
time, like I have so many artists, so many labels
Yeah.
hitting me. You know, I can imagine. You can imagine. I just did
Right.
Nicki Minaj's big comeback single with Lil Baby.
Yeah.
So my phone is just exploding every day.
Right.
So, and then I was just like, you know what? I'm just gonna send a pack of beats.
Yeah.
And I sent it, and I found out it really was Diddy people. You know, thankfully I sent the beats, and you know, I look up one day, I'm asleep, and I get a call from my boy, DeForest is his name, from Love Records.
Okay.
And he's like, "Hey, Diddy about to call you. I'm just preparing you." I'm like, and I'm imagine I'm asleep, so I'm like, let me throw a hat on or something, like, you know what I mean? And so he called Diddy on the FaceTime. He didn't pick up. So I was like, he's cap.
Yeah.
But then he was like, oh, nah. He's just in the studio listening to your beats right now. He about to call back. And then Diddy actually called back. And he just had this big smile. And he was like, yo, what up, King? And I'm just like, and like the day before, I had seen a Kanye documentary. And there's a scene where Kanye is in the studio with Diddy. And I'm telling Diddy, I'm like, yo, this feel like you was in the studio with Kanye. He was like, oh, word? And then it was just a big moment. And, you know, I spent a lot of time with Diddy. I think we spent like a year putting that record together.
Wow, okay.
You know, because, you know, with Diddy, he's a very, like, particular, detailed, perfectionist guy.
Yeah.
So we spent a year putting that record together. And I remember, like, we just probably spent a month just putting a kick in the 808, just one sound.
Wow.
Yeah. Wow. You know, and I'm just like, you know, I learned a lot. And I'm like, this is how you become
The great.
a 9, 10 figure, or I'm sorry, how much is a billion? How many figures is that? I don't know. But how many figures is a billion?
That's how you get to it.
That's how you
That's
get to
how
it.
you get to it.
That's how you get to $1 billion.
Yeah.
By having that level of detail and perfection.
Absolutely.
And, you know, Diddy's a great guy. He allowed me to just really come around and be in the mix with him and allow me to learn and produce with him and, you know, just develop that. So, you know, shout out Diddy, shout out my boy DeForest, shout out Trell. And, you know, it's just a blessing that I was able to, you know, really, you know,
To do
make
that.
history.
Yeah.
You know?
That's
'Cause
awesome.
that was a comeback record for Diddy as well.
Yeah.
So I did the Nicki Minaj comeback, did the Diddy comeback. You know, we got other artists we doing
Right.
Foxy Brown. I'm working on her
Hold
album
on,
as
no,
well.
wait.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, and we definitely need a Foxy Brown back.
Yeah, we need
Yeah,
need to
we
see
Yeah.
coming
back out there.
with Foxy.
Yeah.
That's okay. Come on, Foxy. You know, they just, that's a whole nother show, the ladies of hip hop, but let's move forward. So you have all this going on. Number one, you're working with the top. What is your creative process like? When you're ready to work on a project, take us through, what does that look like?
I mean,
How do you get inspired?
to be honest, like for me, it's normal. It's like putting on clothes. It's not like I gotta do some crazy routine. It's just like, for me, I relax a lot. I chill a lot. Most of the hit records I made it in bed. I've made it all in my room, in my condo. I don't really start on stuff in the studio.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's by design, but I just feel comfortable. And you know, God just gave me a talent, and it's just natural. It's not like I gotta force anything. I don't force the music. I don't force the relationships.
That's good.
Everything is just completely organic. Like if I told you I had a set process, I'd be lying to you.
Right.
And I just feel like, you know, success, you know, when you're really, you know, walking on God's path for you, it's gonna be organic. You don't gotta overthink
come on.
it. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Just like how I met y'all. This is organic. You know what I'm saying?
And I say that all the time. When you know God is in it, it's just straight.
Yeah.
You don't gotta work.
It hit
It's
different.
just- It hit real different.
It hit different.
Yeah. You do it with your eyes closed.
Yeah.
I want to switch gears for a second now.
Yeah.
In addition to being a producer, you have released the producer's course and your book, 22 Steps to Becoming a Top Producer.
Yes.
So talk to us about what.
right
yes,
here.
let's talk about the book. Let's tell us.
I
a
love
bit
the
about
cover art,
I love. Yeah, it
too.
looks great.
So this is really big, and here you have a young black kid, which represents
Yeah.
myself.
Okay.
You got Africa here. You know what I'm saying? You
love that.
got the Caribbean a little bit there. And, you know, this was just me coming to Miami. I felt like I was facing the
Oh,
world.
wow.
You know, I moved to Miami
That's
when
beautiful.
I was 17. And I didn't really have no one. You know, I had the support of my parents, but, you know, it was tough. And
Yeah.
I went to school. I got my degree. I ended up spending over $250,000 going to school, got my degree. And I didn't really learn much. So I
Right.
told myself, I knew I was gonna make it, but I told myself, when I make it, I'm gonna help that next 16, 17,
That's
18-year-old
good.
kid that's struggling and doesn't know what to do. Because it's like, you see all these artists, producers, writers that blow up, but
Right.
whoever's like really coming back and giving you the sauce.
Exactly.
And put it in a format to where it's like, yo,
Yeah.
this is the step I made, this
Yes.
the step I made, this.
Right.
Yeah.
Right? And nobody's doing that.
Yeah.
So nobody's doing that at a high level either.
Right.
That's
So I
right.
said, you know what? I'm gonna stick to what I said. When I get on and when I'm in a position where nobody can deny me, I'm gonna like really give the sauce out.
Yeah.
And I'm really gonna inspire and help the upcoming generation
That's
and
good.
producers.
Okay.
And put it in a format to where you can get it.
So we just did a story. We want your take on this. We just did a story about Doja Cat.
Yeah.
How she lost over, 1 million followers of her fans, got Twitter crazy, said a lot of stuff that she shouldn't have said that offended them. How do you feel about that? Do you feel that celebrities have the right to treat fans that way? Like, what is your take on it?
I mean, look, the way I'm like, God's blessed me with a lot of supporters, and a lot of resources. So for me, I'm always gonna be gracious to the people that support
Right.
me. You know what I'm saying? And even the people that don't support me, I'm gonna always have a level of respect because that's just the type of man I am. You know, I'm never gonna put down people that's spending money on me, that I'm inspiring, that
Yeah.
I'm motivating. I mean, I think it's a little peculiar. I don't correlate to that.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Do you think it could be that social media is causing this rift between fans and artists because now the fans can talk directly to the artists, whereas in the past it wasn't that.
And I would say this, working with such large, artists.
Yeah.
For the first time, I actually got a lot of critical responses, and that's how you know when you make it.
From the public.
Yeah, that's how you know you made it when people have opposing opinions about you,
And they got something to say.
and they're displaying it publicly,
Yeah.
and people that you don't know, and that's how I was like, okay, I kind of made it because I got hundreds of people talking about me, whether good or bad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's about how you respond to that.
Yeah.
Now I could go to everybody and, have
And
these
fight,
type of
and yeah,
verbal
yeah.
exchanges, but it's like for what? Like God blessed me to be in this position. It's just
Right.
like I'm gonna just keep motivating and inspiring.
Being
Yes,
here.
sir. Thank you,
course.
Papi. Thank you.
Congratulations
It's
on
an
all your
honor.
success.
Yeah.
Tell Nikki we said hello. We'd love to have her. Nikki, you're invited. Come on in.
The album
building.
coming out soon, so
Yeah. So definitely want to have you back. Thank you
yeah.
so much.
Thank you. And the producer course is out now. Get that, theproducercourse.com. I'm showing producers how to be #1 in the world, and we actually giving real life concepts and resources to help you get to the next level. And when you get this producer course, you get direct access to send me your music, send me your business ideas, anything that you want to do, you get that direct access. Nobody doing that, and we giving the sauce out, you heard?
See, nobody's doing that, y'all.
There we go.
Like that, we gotta get out of here. But you know where to reach us.
Same time, same place. Be safe until tomorrow, you guys. See you next time.
Bye, y'all. For the holidays, so I didn't have his little help around the house, so he came back last night.
I'm sure he was excited to get back home.
He was.
Yeah.
And so was the dog.
Oh, Tyson was gone.
Tyson has a whole jail cell. So my husband found this new cage.
Okay.
And it literally looks like a jail cell. I have to take a picture and
You
bring
need
it
to take
tomorrow.
a picture.
It's so sad.